All right, so this is the video for the 2018 free response. Question number 3, it's the CodeWordChecker. So it says the StringChecker Interface describes a class that checks if the strings are valid according to some criterion. So you got an interface, StringChecker. Again, we watched a bunch of these. You got your abstract method, which just is the header. Must be implemented at the class level that implements this interface, okay? So you know right off the bat you're going to implement this StringChecker. So whatever you're going to create, this CodeWordChecker, public class CodeWordChecker implements StringChecker. I mean, you know that's going to be a point. So it says a CodeWordChecker is a StringChecker. Okay. A CodeWordChecker object can be constructed with 3 parameters. So you got a constructor that accepts 2 integers and a string. You should all know how to write a constructor really easily. Okay, the first 2 parameters specify the minimum and maximum code word lengths. And the third parameter specifies a string that must not occur in the code word. Okay, so that third one you're going to have some sort of index of somewhere because you do not want that string to be in your whatever string you're looking at. So a CodeWordChecker object can be constructed with a single parameter. Wait a second, what's going on here? So you got a constructor that accepts 2 integers and a string. Okay, and then a CodeWordChecker object can also be constructed, overloaded constructor, with a single parameter that specifies a string that must not occur in the code word. In this case, the minimum and maximum lengths will default to 6 and 20. So you got one where the min and max are passed in, and one where it's just the string that's passed in, and min and max are defaulted to 6 and 20. So one of them looks like this. In main, you'd have the CodeWordChecker SC1 that passes an int and a string, and SC2 would pass in just the string. What are we doing? Write the complete class. Okay. All right, so I'm going to stop here, and I want to just create my constructor. I'm going to come back to this isValid because remember we have to implement isValid, but I'm going to go right here. This is so easy. You guys got to get all your points on these, all right? So what do we got? Public class CodeWordChecker, and it needs to implement the StringChecker. CodeWordChecker, StringChecker. Okay, cool. And remember, we've got an overloaded constructor, so it's a public CodeWordChecker that passes in an int. Is it, yeah, minimum and then a maximum. So int min, int max, string, string. What do we want to call this thing? Does it give us? The third parameter must be not in the code word. So this must be the code word. They should have called it code word. Specifies a string that must not occur. I don't know. I'll just say word. I don't like how they name this. I mean, if they're going to say the word code word, your string can't be in the code word. That's the code word, you know, like right here, happy. Your string, that, can't be in the word happy. So that'd be true. And this one's happy, $. So I don't know. Whatever. That's just me being picky. I'll just say it's word, string word. So private int my min, my max, private string my word. So I guess I'll just say what my min. Now remember, there's also one that's overloaded. Right, where it's only words passed in, but it did say that it defaults min and max to 6 and 20. And then, you know, so that was the first one we did, and the second one just passes in a word. So this looks good. Okay. Now we got to implement this somehow, so we'll say public Boolean is valid, and it passes in a string. Now we have to write the whole thing, so I haven't read anything about is valid, but I know that it is abstract, which is just the header in the interface. And since I implement StringChecker Interface, I must write the body of the code in here. So just being able to write that out is probably going to give you some points. Now you have to write the method. I don't know what it does yet, but so valid code words have 5 to 8 characters because min is 5, that's the minimum characters, and 8 is the max. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that works. And must not include that. Is there a $? No, so that's true. In this one there's a $. In this one, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, so that's less than the minimum, so that won't work. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's larger than the 8, so that won't work. In this case, though, if we do this one, min is 6 and max is 20, right? From this right here, the defaults of min and max. Valid code words must not have the string pass in them, because the bounds are not specified. The length bounds are 6 and 20. So my pass, that's wait a second. My pass and pass. Oh yeah, this is lowercase pass and this is an uppercase. So anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's long enough. And it doesn't have lowercase pass in it as uppercase, so that's true. Now my passport has lowercase pass in it, so again we're going to have to use index of, Happy doesn't work because don't we need 6? This is only 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is, you know, it's too long for 20. So how many are in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. All right, so this is about, again, like as easy as it gets. You guys got to get your 100% on this. So we return true or false. So if my word dot length is greater than or equal to so if my so right here, I mean, if it was 6, so if my word's greater than 6, my length of my word, and my word dot length is less than or equal to my max. Okay. Wait a second. I think I got some backwards. Yep. Okay, so wait, my word is this. That's like that's my word. We're actually looking for the word that's passed in here to make sure it's greater than. Okay, yeah. Sorry. So that's a good mistake. I was looking at that, and anyway, this is the str. That would have been an easy mistake to make. And what? We were checking to see if my word is in str. So str dot index of, and then what is this? Just my word. Then we return now we got to make sure that it's equal to -1, right? Right, because if it actually is not in there, so you know that's where. Let's see here. You got, you know, like this right here, right? That would be the word in. It would be checking for is that in there. If it finds it, it would find it at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it would return 5 right here, right? So is 5 equal to -1? No, so that would make it false. And so then it would go down to this false statement. But it works if it's greater than, so but let's do, I guess, this one. So the string is greater than 5, it's less than 8 right here. And does it find that in there? No, so it returns -1, so that would be true. Code is less than, so this part of the thing won't hit, so code won't work. That'd be false, and happy code would be greater than the minimum, my min, so that one would be false right there, which would make all your, you know, so all these have to be true in order for this thing to be true, and if one of them's false, then the whole thing is false. So I think that's right. So let's look at this. Declares the header, public class, CodeWordChecker implements. Okay, so like I said, that's easy. You got your private variables, declares all appropriate private instance variables. You got your constructor. One constructor has an int string, and one that has the string. Uses all parameters to initialize instance variables, and 3-parameter constructor. Uses parameter default values. Okay, so this is, that point is this one, and this. All parameters are used, and then the default variables in this one. So that's this point and then that point right there. And then is valid, declares header. So there's my point there for declaring that is valid header. Checks for the length between min and max. So there's that, min and max. Checks for unwanted string. That's that. Returns true if length is between min and max and does not contain the unwanted string. False otherwise. So I don't know. That's where I wrote my if else statement, and I've got true and then false in there. It returns. So let me see if there's. Let me see if there's. Yeah. Oop, did I make a mistake? What's this? Oh, yeah. Let's look at this. So I usually just write out my if-else statements when I do return true and return false. They just said return that. You know, you could do it all in one like this. I don't like how they did that, but I like this. I prefer that better, but that comes down to, you know, semantics and stuff. So anyway, this video is done.